Welcome back. The Paramount-Skydance and Warner Bros. Story coming up. Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Bartiromo. It is Friday, July 31st. It is 7 a.m. on the button on the East Coast. ABC News is accusing the Federal Communications Commission and its chairman, Brendan Carr, of, quote, attempted censorship after the Trump administration ordered an early review of licensing to 8 ABC stations. The network responded, quote, the retaliation against ABC is a signal to every media company in the country. Accommodate the administration's view of what news coverage should look like or pay the price. Fox has reached out to Disney for comment but has not heard back. Joining me now is the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, FCC's Brendan Carr, joining us right now. Mr. Chairman, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to talk really broadly about how you are returning the FCC to its core mission in so many ways, the regulatory changes that we should expect. But let's start on ABC because the FCC is facing this criticism now from ABC. What do you want to say to critics who say the agency is crossing into editorial decision-making?
Well, look, there are some broadcasters out there that are arguing that they feel censored by the FCC. There's broadcasters saying that they're changing their coverage of particular stories because of the agency. And really what we're doing at the FCC is restoring the FCC's enforcement of the public interest standard. Remember, broadcasters are fundamentally different. They struck a deal with the American people. You broadcasters get subsidized access, free access to a valuable public resource, the airwaves, worth billions of dollars. In exchange, you have to operate in the public interest. That means you can't run news distortions, broadcast hoax. You can't be engaging in this invidious form of DEI discrimination. And so the FCC is really enforcing rules that have been on the books for a very long time. And people that are familiar with broadcast understand that. And ultimately, it's a good thing. Look, as a country, we should have a trusted, respected news media, and we're not there. So I hope more broadcasters return to their public interest obligations.
You're also proposing to eliminate the national TV ownership cap. Why do you think that's the right move right now? And do you worry that that would, in fact, reduce local journalism and competition?
It's a good question. I actually think it's going to do the opposite of that. So we've been way out of balance in broadcast media recently. You've got these what we call national programmers like Disney and Comcast, and they produce basically all the shows that people see. But there's thousands of these individual TV stations out there that want to serve their local community. But the national programmers, Disney and Comcast, have gotten so powerful that they just bowl over these local newsrooms. So by lifting this cap, you get some scale on the TV station side so they can finally push back and give some balance to the national programmers. That's going to mean more local news, more local reporting, and that's more trusted than the national media. So I think that's going to be a good thing.
Well, I mean, so many moving parts here, Mr. Chairman. I mean, we have been talking about AI all morning, and we've been doing so much on it recently, artificial intelligence, changing communications as well. What's your take here? Does the FCC need a larger role in AI infrastructure and spectrum and network security? We also understand SpaceX having a bigger role longer term in terms of communications. How does that change the playing field?
This is a really great success story. So when you look at President Trump and his economic agenda, it's working on two fronts. One, near-term relief and changes for the American people, but also structurally long-term, setting us up for success. In telecom, to your point, you're seeing just that. Cell phone prices right now are down 10% since President Trump came in. Speeds are up 50%. We're bringing lots of more spectrum into the market, which is going to drive down prices. But we're also looking at national security. So for a long time, presidents of both parties just sent all of our jobs and American investment overseas. And President Trump came in and said, we're not going to do that anymore. And so we're taking concrete national security actions. We're prohibiting foreign-produced drones, foreign-produced routers, foreign-produced these robot dogs and quadrupeds, and it's delivering results. So since we banned foreign-produced drones, for instance, we've seen $4 billion flow into U.S. drone and related companies. That's thousands of jobs. So it's great for American jobs, but it's also decreasing our dependency on insecure foreign supply chains.
Yeah, I want to talk about this because this ban on foreign-produced power inverters and humanoid robotic devices and foreign-made drones is very interesting given the backdrop of our competition and race with China. The commission determining these products could pose risks to American infrastructure and other supply chains. The move coming now being talked about, Mr. Chairman, it surrounds the push to secure the U.S. electricity grid as well. But it's even more than that. What can you tell us about the threat of these humanoid robots from China?
Well, this is a great instance of President Trump, the administration, really seeing around the corner. These robot dogs, these humanoid robots, these power inverters, all of this is going to be critical to the economy of tomorrow and to our national security. And we're acting right now to make sure that the U.S. domestic market has a chance to succeed and get investments, that we don't become overly dependent on foreign nations. And it's great that we're taking this action now rather than 5 years from now or 10 years from now when we realize, whoops, we got too dependent on a critical foreign supply chain. And so there's real national security risks here. Power inverters are a key component of our electric grid. Do we really want to be dependent entirely on a foreign nation that may have bad intentions, particularly where those inverters can be connected to the internet and change? And so we're securing our supply chain, but it's also really helping to reindustrialize the nation, which is a good thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's even bigger than that because the risks that these machines pose is really what I'm trying to get at. I spoke with Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno recently, and he's got a bill right now to ban vehicles from China. And he told me that, you know, in a potential conflict with China, China can just flip the switch and actually operate those vehicles and cause those vehicles to cause chaos in America, you know, crashing into infrastructure and acting unpredictably. Is that something you're watching?
Yeah, exactly. This is a huge risk, to your point, whether it's electric vehicles or the internet itself. You know, we took action during the first Trump administration on Huawei, ZTE, and other devices. So we're looking very systematically at everywhere where we're vulnerable to a bad actor, a foreign nation that has hostile intentions, being able to disrupt our telecommunications network, our energy supply, electric vehicles, and we're moving, you know, very swiftly on a lot of fronts right now.
Yeah, for sure. I want to play you in a moment what Bernie Moreno told me about this. But let me get your take before we go there on this Paramount-Skydance Warner Bros. Deal. Still frozen after California and 11 other state attorneys general filed a lawsuit blocking the acquisition. Mr. Chairman, how do you see this moving forward? What are your expectations here?
Well, it's interesting. You look at Europe, and they've reviewed this transaction and have already effectively signed off on it. And that tells me if there was any true competition, antitrust concern there, Europe would be all over it. They haven't found a transaction generally that they think is in the public interest. So Europe has signed off on this, but yet California has not. D.C., the DOJ has signed off on it, but California hasn't. There was a story that came out from sources familiar with Attorney General Bonta that said that really what he was going there for was to try to protect CNN and prevent any new owners from being able to decide the direction of that one cable channel. And, you know, making this entirely about CNN, which is apparently what California is trying to do, is not a legitimate exercise of any antitrust or competition authority. I think at the end of the day, there's simply no case there. And ultimately, it looks to me like that deal is going to get done. So when do you expect it to get done? Well, there's a temporary restraining order right now that's preventing them from closing, and there's going to be a trial schedule set here, whether it's for later this year or sometime around that, and then we'll see what happens once that schedule gets produced by the court. Okay, we'll be watching that, certainly. Now, I want to get your take on the NFL and broadcasting there. I mean, the DOJ obviously opening an antitrust investigation into the NFL's broadcasting rights earlier this year over streaming subscriptions and limiting consumers' easy access to viewing the games. Mr. Chairman, I spoke with the head of Netflix recently, and, you know, he had obviously no problem with the streamers showing the games. But I know the FCC does not regulate the NFL, but you've got significant influence on how Americans watch sports. And I'm wondering if many of these companies, the streamers, have become the gatekeepers of some of America's favorite sports. Like, I mean, we had to watch the Knicks on Amazon the other day. Yeah, we certainly reached a tipping point in which too many games go behind too many paywalls. It ends up ultimately being a terrible experience for the consumer. Americans love coming home, turning the TV on, and being able to quickly find their show, either on basic cable or, in most cases, for free, broadcast over the air. But now so many Americans feel like they have to sign up for 16 different streaming services and different packages just to cobble together the games they want to watch. Our media ecosystem is fractured enough as is. Sports is that one thing that can convene massive audiences. I think it's a good thing culturally for the country. I think it's a bad thing for consumers if you're paying for, dozens of these different streaming services. So putting a couple over there, obviously that's happening right now, but we don't want to see a tipping point here where there's just so many games going behind the paywall. That's not a good outcome.
Well, that's right. So, I mean, bottom line, should major sporting events like, for example, the Super Bowl, should that just, as a given, remain available free on over-the-air networks?
Yeah, I think it should stay free over the air for the American people. Look at the World Cup and how that brings people together. It's such a unique cultural experience when it's over the air, and I think that's where sports should stay.
Let me get back to the China competition, because Senator Bernie Moreno joined me recently and talked about importing Chinese vehicles. And he's very concerned, as you are, with these humanoid robots. Watch this.
These cars have lots of cameras. They send back data to the Communist Party and can be remotely controlled by the Communist Party. Could you imagine letting those vehicles into the U.S.? And that's why it's important to get this legislation across the finish line. And I'm certain that President Trump, we can get that to his desk, hopefully by Labor Day.
There is anywhere, from half a dozen to a dozen cameras on these cars. So whatever's on those cameras is sent back to the CCP?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can imagine somebody working at an Air Force base. They drive in. These things are surveilling the Air Force base. They also know who's driving the vehicle, their habits, where they go, where they come from. We would never allow Americans to purchase surveillance devices from the Communist Party of China, and that's exactly what these automobiles are. So our bill insists that that not happen. It hermetically seals the U.S. market. These cars are about 20 to 30% cheaper than most cars because they're massively subsidized. These are basically little Trojan horses that they're throwing all over the globe.
So if we were to have a conflict with China at any point, are you saying that the Chinese Communist Party can control those cars and have them go crashing into things all day long?
These are connected vehicles, so they could actually take over the driving of the vehicle, lock the doors, roll up the windows, and crash the vehicle into sensitive sites. This is the technology that exists in these Chinese cars. We're just not going to let that into our market.
Mr. Chairman, is this what you're worried about?
Yeah, I think that's right. We can't afford to have any of that type of stuff. We don't need these Trojan horses anywhere in our technology ecosystem. I think Senator Moreno is right, and look forward to working with him on these types of issues.
So broadly speaking, you are handling so much right now, Brendan Carr. What does success look like, in your view, when looking at communications and the FCC once your chairman's term is up? Tell me what success looks like. Give us your overall strategy in terms of what you're trying to achieve.
Well, President Trump said he wants to lead the world again in next-generation technologies, and we have now set the FCC up in the country to do that. I'll give you one last example, direct-to-cell, which is this idea that you can go straight from your smartphone right to a low Earth orbit satellite and get high-speed, low-latency service. Think about how disruptive that will be. Wherever you are in the U.S. or in the world, right to your smartphone. You don't need anything else. High-speed connectivity. America is right now in the pole position for that, and it's thanks to President Trump making sure that the FCC is moving fast on spectrum, on permitting reform, and that's what we're going to keep doing.
Terrific. Brendan Carr, great to see you this morning. Please come back soon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks. Enjoyed it.
All right. You're watching Mornings with Maria live on Fox Business. We'll take a break and come right back. Stay with us.